Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, uh, cause mine. Love and light. I don't need gravity. I just need growth. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, yo. Cosmonian in the house. Hey, hey. We had a very progressive week this week. I think we gotta set a lot of things straight. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people learned today or over the last week or so, we ain't nothing to play with. It's your hostess with the mostest, burning like toast is Cosmonian. Balanced. Right back at it like I left something, you dig? Hey, shout to the God, man. Shout to all the righteous gods, man, and peace to the Nirvanian goddesses. Creator Gang is in the house, man. Hey, peace to the righteous God, Malachi Maccabee. Y'all may have not seen it. Y'all may not have heard the actual hit. But somebody God failed the other day. Oh yeah, somebody God failed. It's real out here in this field. You know? I think we done seen enough of that folly, you dig what I'm talking about? And in truth, I started to do this. I got busy, but I started to do this Saturday. And I'm kind of glad I didn't. Because if I'd have jumped on and said what I had to say and show what I had to show, you dig what I'm talking about? I think they would have just tried to say we was bullies. You know what I mean? That and at that point it would have really just been kicking a dead horse. You know, baby girl career is over. Hold on, y'all. All right, my bad, y'all. My bad. That was the shorty. You know what I mean? A little pimp, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Shout out to the bird. And yo, it was ugly. The sister decapitated herself. You know what I mean? She put her own neck in the noose and chose to lie. She chose to lie instead of telling the truth and or just admitting that you don't know or you just don't understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Instead of putting yourself out there, putting yourself in a bad predicament, man. Firstly, before we go any further, this is fair use. Fair use. Let me get some. Let me hold on. Let me get it. Let me get something going real quick. Fair use. Fair use, fair use. Everything shown is being used in an educational purpose. Don't try to strike your boy. I'm just trying to build with it. Now, before I go too far into this presentation, first of all, this is Jehovah Chronicles number 85, man. 85. You know what I mean? It's just been about a year, man. That's about 7 a month. I try to keep them going. You know what I mean? But first and foremost, all praise to the Most High Creator. The all that is, the all that was, the all that shall ever be, the ever present, the quickener, the mover, first and last, Alpha and Omega. The topic today is the Eoptian age. The Eoptian age. I know many are like, Cosma, what do Eoptian mean? Now we're going to get off into that, but I'm going to just give you just a little hint. You know what I mean? Just to guide you on your way. Eoptian equates to optimal. Eoptian, optimal. So we're getting into the creation of man, or the time of the creation of man. With that being said, I wanted to share this video with y'all real quick before we get into the lesson real quick. I wanted to share this video. This is Lucy. And why I'm showing this is because we're talking about creation. So, and this is, even though it's not perfectly correct, it shows a lot of things, you know what I mean, that as faith is, we can equate to the earth creation process, the condensing of corporeal materials. We understand that. And this is the movie Lucy, came out 2014, and it has a scene in the beginning, or towards the end, right, where the lady goes back in time, blah 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 blah, right? But for those with eyes who can see, I want y'all to take note of the Aja, the Jaya, the nebula, or the semi-dark gaseous regions, or the semi-light gaseous regions, or the nebulous or material rock-like earth-building materials, like in our Van Halen belt, what is called the ficus of Hall. She gives in this movie what I think is the closest to what Owaspie sort of reveals. It's not as Owaspie explains, but it gives you an idea. You know what I mean? And being that we visual people, always like to show you or give you an idea so you can wrap your mind around what Owaspie is actually saying, being that this book that we're bringing out is objective, right? Understand the force that creates is what? Vortex. So it's always spiraling. It's always spinning. Take note. Check this out, y'all. This is dope. I just wanted to stop right there real quick. Is this archaic man? Is this the early hominin and hominidae stock of humans? Is this Adam? The sister didn't understand when Judah was trying to explain to her when they was talking about crawling on the belly. They was talking about man in his beastly state. Look, they are called hominids. This is Adamu. Adam, aka Asu, if you use an Vedic term. Just wanted to stop there. Just give it a little look. That's your Adam. You think he named every animal? I doubt it. Hey, hold on. This so dope. I'm gonna slow this down. Watch this. Hold on. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. Look at that. Waspi said, in the early stages, when I made the world, it was a ball of fire. And then Lux came. Nebulous material fell to the planet. Look at the Aja. Look at, you see the nebula? See the nebula? All that, nebula. Nebula. See the Aja? Dark. Jaya, light. Watch. Remember how the creation is created. Vortex. Look at the Ajah. Look at the Jaya. The Ajah is the dark. The Jaya is the light. Gaseous. Atmospheric. This is what I thought they did a good job on here. Look at that. Vortex. Huh? The toroidal energy. I thought this was dope. I thought this was dope. This is what, well, this is not what I believe Simu is, but this show right here, somebody knew something. Somebody knew something. Simu, condensed atmospheric material with heat, life, organisms, all smashed up into this. And look, they got it looking, and Simu is what? Galactic semen. So right here, they're playing into the panspermia idea that life also exists outside the earth. And they're right. This is a great representation of Simu. But imagine this, all one glob, a massive glob, many times larger than our universe. And instead of it falling in pieces, it came in whole chunks of sky, miles deep. It's not just one individual thing falling. It's like a goop, a goo, sperm. And our planet and the sun and the rest of the planets are being drugged through it at certain times. These times are called Simu, or times when the animal, serpent lives, and also different plant lives are created at these times. The animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the serpents. I thought this was dope when I seen this. This is the first thing I thought of Simu. Let's run it back just a little bit. Let's run it back just a little bit. Gotta slow down. Y'all see the vortex? Somebody knew something. What are they in? What fluid are they in? You would assume it's water. What if it's Simu? They don't look like water to me. Look gelatinous. Colloidal.
Look, the computer. It's moving.
I just wanted to get the on that one more time, man. This is one of the dopest parts of the movie, of any movie I've ever seen. YouTube got man. Yeah, they didn't probably hit me with it. Let me cut this thing on. Hold on. Man, them suckers just struck my. All right. Just let me know. They flagged me. Damn. Hey, you know you hot when you hot though. When you telling it the truth, it's always a mess. It's always a mess. You dig what I'm talking about? They don't trust me. They damn near shadow ban anything I do. I understand. You know what I mean? I had to go back and fix this video. You know what I mean? I was just using it for entertainment purposes and teaching. You know what I mean? Just to give them a slight visual that they could rock with in their minds. You know, to try to comprehend on. Let me share something with y'all real quick. To give y'all an idea of Simu. Now, this picture here, let me see if I can blow it up just a little bit. All right. This white ball is the earth. In the midst of, see this, all this darkness, this space in the galaxy. You know what I mean? Or denser, darker atmospheric pressure called Aja is present. But in many of these areas, there's also, besides Aja Jaya Nebula, a separate substance called Simu. Right? And it is through Simu that life is, in a sense, reigned on a planet. But the key to Simu that you must understand is it is the introduction of oxygen to the planet. What we know at this time as that great explosion of life is called the Cambrian and pre-Cambrian times. Now, they give these great times millions and millions and millions of hundreds of millions of years ago. Owasping is rendering these things an impossibility, right? There's no way a dinosaur can live on, or a man, or any animal that breathes the breath of life can live on a planet with no oxygen on it? The plants would grow profusely, right? They live off everything that kills us and give off oxygen, right? If you date the introduction of oxygen to the Cambrian, you're going to find out it's only 95,000 years ago. Huh? Let me show y'all something real quick. This is the dope part about Owaspy. This is called the timetables of prophecy, right? We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to show y'all later on in there. But, okay, I just want to explain something to y'all. In your Bible, right, in the Bible that we all learn, right, there was a time called the 6 days of creation where God created everything and then rested and then made that next day the Sabbath, right? He rested. I would like to offer a solution for understanding of that story, right? And also why the confusion that they say that this is 6 days, but then Paul goes out his way to make sure that you know that a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years but a day to the Lord. He goes out his way to tell you that, right? Showing that there is correlation in the text, right? Where a day is 1,000 years, or 6 days is 6,000 years, right? With the understanding rendered in Owaspy, right? I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to look at this. This is a timetable chart. This is how you tell time. Anybody talking about history or historical documents or geology, archaeology, if you talking about any of that stuff and you don't have a way to render time, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Don't matter how much money you got or who sponsor you. This is why the so-called 6 days of creation, it is a lie. But the Lord, who had some of this knowledge, reworked the story and told it as a 6-day creation myth. His name historically is Anu. In Owaspy, he is rendered as Anu Hasaj. When we get into the breakdown of the time of man, I want y'all to understand that the very first arc cycle right here, look, which is called the Ark of Wan under Sethantes, is where the first men, the first Homo sapiens, these are some little niggas, they have angel, right, which is Eve, and they have Adam, which is the beast man, Asu, right? Right. In our earliest histories on Earth, there was a lot of different genetic makeups in the early hominids, and then they settled in more later on in time. Look, the 6 days are really 6,000 years. Even in the greatest of lies, there's truth if you know what you're looking for. It is actually 6,000 years, or what? 6,000 years before the first people who could think, called Abel. Why are they called Abel in the tale? Because these are the first Homo sapiens sapiens, the first men with spiritual ability. Look, the beast man, right? Asu, he's a hominid. Adam, right? is not one person. It is male and female, a whole people, right? So that begs to ask the question, well, who is Eve? How do we get Abel? They came with this guy, Sethantes. They are the angelic hosts who accompanied him to the earth in the very first arc cycle, or 71,523 years ago. Watch this. Hold on. Let me show y'all, cause let me show y'all the other chart, cause we got more charts. So look, this is happening 77,000 to 523 BC. At this time, Adam is made, the beast man, the man he didn't have, he wasn't really no more than an animal, and yet the Creator made him man. So if I start you at 0 and I'm a fair, just Creator, right? At that point, I must raise you up forever. If I am just, if I am the all in all, and I started you at 0, and I even start dogs off at 50. You dig what I'm talking about? The worst man-biting dog is at least a 50. Animals are actually created perfect in their order. They do exactly what they do. They can't grow. They can't learn from the environment. They can't affect the environment. But man can. And look, before Adam was born, right, or created on the planet, the animals, the four-legged animals. Now, at this time, remember that galactic semen we was talking about? Right? It had been already fallen. This is, look, 24,000 years. In the last 6,000 years, man was created. But 6,000 years before that, animals had start populated. 6,000 years or 12,000 years before man, serpents. These are your so-called dinosaurs. And before that, plants was created. This is happening at 95,000 BC, or the time of the Cambrian. They put it millions and millions and millions of years ago, but don't understand how the rock is made that covers it. The rock could be much, much older than what it's covering. So it could fall to a depth and be perceived as it is even a greater time when the rock is even younger than the man. So here go your 6 days of creation right here. 6,000 years. Adam, hold on. Let me see. I want to show y'all the other timetable chart. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this is also a timetable of prophecy. Right? It is from creation, a man, one got all. And my bad, y'all. Can y'all see that? Can everybody see? Make sure y'all can see that. Let me blow that up. All right. This is one Gadol, an Eoptian age or an optimal age, right? I want y'all to notice what is happening. These are 3,000 year periods, right? Remember I showed you on the chart 77,000, 78,000 years ago, BC, Asu or Autumn in many varieties are being created. This is during the Cambrian called the Neogene or mid-Mio to the mid-Miocene. All 3,000 years after that, Asu Adam standardizes. We see this in the fossil records. This is the great beef between hominid and hominin. Still showing that both of them is man. So, just like Owaspi says, Adam lived 6,000 years and gave birth to the sons of God, right? That next child is called Seth, and the first God was called Sethantes, right? And we see the period. This is actually how time looks. Time is cyclical. It's not straightforward and linear. It's cyclical. It turns on itself. This is why they say if you don't do something about it, you bound to repeat it. Now we see right here, this is the time of Asu. Here's the very first 3,000 year arc cycle under Sethantes called Wan, right? We're going to be doing a lot of time talking about this time right here. In the time of Asu, we're going to find out this is called Hak or darkness. Let's get to it real quick, y'all. Hey, do your boy a favor, man. Hit me with them vortexes in the chat, man. Let's get this energy moving in this thing, man. Vortex the chat. You dig what I'm talking about? And we're going to get right to it. The boy Cosmoni. Vortex the chat. You dig what I'm talking about? Hit us with that circle of life. That's right. BC. Vortex the chat. You dig what I'm talking about? All is vortex. Huh? All is Jehovah. I think I can blow that up a little bit, both of y'all. What y'all think? Stop hating guys by that. Let me see if I can put something out. A little bit. All right. This is the creation of man, the Eoptian age, or the optimal time for man to exist on the planet. The creation of the genus, species, and kingdom of man. Creation of the being known as man, and the allegory of Adam and Eve. As we search for truth related to the creation of men on earth, we find ourselves deep in the pits of confusion where the creation of man is concerned. Through religious dogma, myths, and scientific fallacy overlaid with scientific racism and classism sprinkled with bias, hatred, and pure ignorance through overt indoctrination, the last 2,200 plus years, we find ourselves with a hodgepodge of vague and convoluted tales and allegories. The true way, the only way we can truly bring light or understanding on this topic is to take a very scientific and objective view, leaving the emotional beliefs of subjectivity behind. Those of the higher objective light must at all times be able to prove the claims they are making, or in truth, it is just darkness or subjective. as Owaspy makes evidently and clear in the book of Discipline, chapter 8 and 3, where it says, many are under the prejudice of old things, doctrines, beliefs, feelings. Many are under the prejudice of old things, or the influence of a neighbor or a loved one, or a spirit. Look at that. Or their surroundings. Look at that. Showing man is affected by his surroundings. Or the impulse of their own flesh. The sister had the beast concept mixed up last night. She didn't really understand what she was reading. You know what I mean? She wasn't comprehending what was being meant by beast, because she didn't take time to actually read the book before. She just started cherry picking, right? And when they were talking about the beast, or even to equate the same term is in the Bible, they said Eve spoke to the snake. Or, you dig what I'm talking about? It is the same thing. The beast, the impulse of the flesh, right? Bowing down to the lesser light, to the lower light. Higher light is thou shalt not kill. Lesser light is survival of the fittest. You see the difference? They're both in fact true, but one is a higher light, thou shalt not kill. Lesser light, survival of the fittest. So when it was in fact talking about the beast, they were talking about the impulse, the lowered beastly nature of man that is more drawn to earthly things than spiritual things. And they say, right, those who are under the impulse of their own flesh say that I too follow my highest light, whereas they are in darkness altogether, nor do they know what is meant by the term highest light, often venturing an opinion or a vague surmise, instead of believing, they are expressing their highest light. So if Naphtali believed she was expressing her highest light, she told y'all a lie. Now we can see who's inspiring you. That's why Owaspy is cold, because it hit different. It tell you how to look and see. For what? For which reason you shall explain that only facts well known or comparatively proven are light, not no opinion. Look, an opinion is not light. That whoever professes light, whoever profess to have the knowledge, whoever profess to know the Creator, must know the matter by his own knowledge. You got to be off the tizzle with it. That facts, numbers, figures, or axioms can demonstrate light. They can. They do. And that without these, without what, Cosmo? Facts, figures, numbers, axioms, which is how, why, and when I did a thing, can demonstrate light, and that without these, then the supposed light is only darkness. Look at that. Hold on. That facts, figures, numbers, or axioms can demonstrate light, and that without these, the then supposed light is only darkness. Pursue this philosophy, right? Demonstrating axioms, light showing facts and numbers, right? And what happens? Pursue this philosophy, and you shall easily discover. You shall easily. Shout to the creative gang, man. Peace to the Nirvanian goddesses, man. I just want y'all to know, man, we would never do y'all like that. I hope y'all, man, really understand. Like, dog left her hanging out there, man. He fellas. Hold on. Dude fell asleep on the live. This who got your back? This nigga fell asleep in the midst of gunfire. This nigga Mally is throwing bombs over there. Listen, her career is done. She did that on her own, intellectual suicide. She did it on her own. That was so crazy. You know what I mean? And then both of her sources debunked each other. That was... I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen nobody actually bring it out themselves. You know what I mean? I can see you walking them into the punch, but dang, they running to get punched. She straight threw her neck in the noose, man. That was crazy. I don't have that in me. That faker, that shaker, that slime bally, try to get my way. I ain't got that. I'd rather not deal with you than lie to you. I ain't about to lie to nobody about shit. I don't even like y'all that much. No, shout out to the creative gang. I love y'all. I love everybody, man. I'm just playing, man. Oh, hey, if any of my folks from Brazil watching, man, or if y'all catch this, bro, hit me up. The Thomasina, all y'all down there, bro. I gotta ask y'all some questions. So we might have to. This is gonna be different. We might have to do the Portuguese to English. I don't. You know what I mean? But I could talk to my man C, and he can speak it. You dig what I'm talking about? So I want to get a bunch of y'all on there, or at least 2-3 of y'all, because it's a bunch of y'all. They don't even know that it's gangs of faith that's in South America. Man, so many of them. Let's go back, right? That facts, numbers, figures, or axioms can demonstrate light, and that without these, then the supposed light is only darkness. Pursue this philosophy, and you shall easily discover who among you has the highest light. This, my friends, what we just read, is called today the scientific method. Clearly, Owaspy and hence the creator support the scientific method. Creation is not random. The harmony, symmetry, and beauty speaks clearly in the mathematical preciseness of the galaxy. And we all know where there is math, there is mind, hinting towards a grand designer of it all, the Great Spirit itself, E-O-I. Proving our ancestors correct again. Proving the ancestors correct again when they told us all things have a reason and a season. Now they be saying, Cosmon, you be stretching, man. You capping. You capping, Cosmon. Now, anybody in the chat, if you've ever heard any of your folks or any of your people say, people come in your life for reasons and seasons, or things happen because of reasons and seasons, they come through for, if you ever heard that in your life, hit me with a vortex in the chat. Vortex it up. If you ever heard that in your life, hit me with a vortex in the chat. All things have a reason and a season. See them vortexes coming in, man. Shout out to the gang, man. Shout out to the loved ones, man. Shout out to the people who stand by the creator, man. Huh? Hold on. Hold on. Jaja say you will be supreme. Jaja say you gonna be supreme. You already love him anyway. Trust in him. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. So y'all know I ain't lying. Didn't the OGs tell us all things have a reason in a season? Galactically, that is called Eoptian or optimal, right? What does optimal mean? Optimal, an adjective, right? Means best or most likely to bring success or advantage. From Cambridge. Now, as faithists, we never try to push our views on anyone, and yet when divergent views on a topic are offered, we strive to prove all things objectively and in real time. Many confusing views are offered by religious deities where the creation of man is concerned. For instance, the biblical God asserts that there is someone else on side of him who is actually creating with him, as seen in Genesis 1:26, where we see, and God said, let us make man in our plural image, after our likeness. Now, cognitive dissonance through subjective reasoning are the results of rationalizing the question when asked, who is God talking to? Who is us in the beginning of everything? Shouldn't be nobody there. Can't be no son. I think the Bible does give a vague surmise on that, but let's keep pushing. As I said, cognitive dissonance through subjective reasoning are the results of rationalizing the question when asked, who is God speaking to? Many views are offered on this topic, the most prevalent being that God is talking to Elohim. But Hebrew linguists and Christian apologists and Christian scientists equate Elohim in Genesis 1 as a majestic plural, or to clarify what is meant by majestic plural, the term majestic plural or pluralis majestes refers to the use of a plural word, Elohim, to refer honorifically to a single person or deity. So we're still talking about one deity, even though we're saying Elohim. Now, the only time this ever happens in all the Hebrew is Genesis 1:1. It only happened, it's never happened in any other Hebrew text ever. Beyond the Christian text, it don't happen. What is meant by majestic plural, right? It refers to the use of a plural word to refer honorifically to a single person or deity, right? If the ideology, right, of majestic plurality is accepted and applied, we still would only be talking about one single entity. So the question remains, who is the biblical God talking to? I find even the greatest minds lacking in axioms and actual proofs when the topic of cosmogony are brought forth. Even the so-called most intelligent and scientific minds are stumped and stuck in the mire of old subjective beliefs when cosmogony of the universe is brought forth. What is cosmogony? Cosmogony is now the branch of science that deals with the origin of the universe. Now look, especially the solar system. Now watch this. Right in the definition, it says today the central questions of cosmology and cosmogony, they are different, are being explored within the framework of what? Big Bang. So you're trapped in a box. So we know where you can't go. So let's start there. I do not believe in coincidence. So it should be very telling when we look in the very definition of the word cosmogony, we find an old system of belief, aka the Big Bang, proving the text of Eoptian as absolutely, objectively correct when it said in the book of Discipline 8:3, many are under the prejudice of old things, or the influence of a neighbor or a spirit or their surroundings or the impulse of their flesh. And they say, I follow my highest light too. Big Bang. Big Bang is a vague surmise or attempt to rationalize the creation of the universe, with the explanation being that, now listen to this, the explanation of the Big Bang is that nothing turned to something and then something blew up. Hit me with a vortex in the chat. No wonder we find ourselves in a great quandary when the leading theory of the day, right? Now, let me go run back one more time. The theory of Big Bang is that nothing turned to something and then something blew up. Let that sink in a second. Nothing turned to something. Nothing turned to something. And then something blew up. That's Big Bang. Now, no wonder we find ourselves in a great quandary when the leading theory of the day can't be proven objectively in real time. The same thing Creator would have been creating with in the beginning, he got to be creating with today, and we got to be able to see it. Now ask yourself, have you ever seen nothing turn to something? Have you? Objectively, have you seen anything blow up and create life? If the Big Bang theory is the process that creation uses in its beginnings, That process must still be going on today and observable in creation. Even with supernovas, we don't see them creating other worlds where living beings are on them. That's a problem. Now, can we see anything blowing up and creating life in real time? Just a little couple things to make you go, Now, yes, we've all heard the myths that a big man in the sky created the heavens and the earth. That's Genesis 1:1. Everybody know that. Well, we care less that you make the claim that you made it. Show us how you made it. Don't tell me you powerful. Show me you powerful. But when we ask biblical God, how did he create the heavens and the earth? To give us observable proofs and axioms, what do we get? Crickets. How odd that a supposed omnipresent, omnipotent God is quiet on how he supposedly created the universe. Seems it would be a simple question to answer if you're omnipotent in fact. It is quite revealing when one finds out that many of the science's supposed greatest minds can't think their way out of a big bang bag. All so-called cosmologists and creationists are not beholden to science or God in fact, but all dumbed down and can't rise above the mental acumen of these men. Y'all know who that is? That's George Lemaitre, right? 1927. He invented the theory on the Big Bang. But this is the guy who blew it up. This is Fred Hoyle, right? This is Fred Hoyle. Let's read a little bit about Fred. Fred is an English astronomer. Fred Hoyle is credited with coining the term Big Bang during a talk for a March 1949 BBC radio broadcast, saying these theories were based on the hypothesis that all matter in the universe was created in one big bang at a particular time in the remote past. So the thing that just blew up, right, that created all the matter in the universe. So before it blew up, what no matter in the universe? See the problem? You would still have to show us nothing somewhere. It's some nothing somewhere. Where? That's just circular logic. Look, these theories were based on the hypothesis, the guess that all matter in the universe was created in one big bang at a particular time in the remote past. However, now remember, he coined the term 1949. However, it didn't even catch on to the 1970s, right? Sources at the bottom. So, hold on. So, without a clear understanding of how the universe was created, there is no logical, objective, or common sense way that a man can come to the understanding of how men are created upon the earth, especially if their only theory is subjective and nonsensical. Now, hold on. Warning. 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 must warn you. If you're racist, biased, hateful, ego-driven, religiously indoctrinated, prideful, prejudiced, and or ignorant, I forewarn you. I forewarn you that the following info will cause cognitive dissonance. Hit me with some vortexes in the chat. Let's get this thing moving. Let's get the vibe moving, man. Hit me with some vortexes in the chat. To get a full understanding of creation and of how the creator creates, and with what one must at least have a basic understanding of the vortex. The vortex is a mass of whirling fluid or air, especially a whirlpool or whirlwind, especially a whirlpool or whirlwind. That is a vortex. It is a whirling fluid or air. All right? What's a whirlwind? Right? A whirlwind is a noun. A column of air. Okay? See the column stacking up? See right on there? You see this? Spinning counterclockwise motion right there? That is the vortex. But in truth, you don't see the vortex. You don't see the wind. You see the substance it gathers in the air, driving it towards the center. A column of air moving rapidly around and around in a cylindrical or funnel shape, the vortex. Now keep this in your mind, the spinning vortexian pattern. And it showed you a whirlpool and a whirlwind, which are both vortex. Okay, let's go a little further. Remember, we asked the biblical God how he created the heavens and the earth, and no answer was given. Well, when the same methodology is applied to the creator of sun, moon, and stars, and the answer comes readily, expediently, and objectively. Book of Jehovih, chapter 3 and 3. The whirlwind, look at this. What? The whirlwind I made as a sign to man. Look, you see the corkscrew spiraling pattern? He said, what'd he say? The whirlwind I made as a sign. Let's look this up. Because I didn't throw this in there, but I ain't too, you know what I mean? Act like I ain't gonna know, I know everything. Sign. Hold on. Wait. All right. Assign an object or quality or event whose presence. Wait a minute, hold on, let me share this. Okay, right. Assign an object, quality, or event whose presence or occurrence indicates the probable presence or occurrence of something else. An indication, a signal, a symptom, a gesture or action used to convey information or instructions is a sign. Write one's name on a letter or card or similar item to identify oneself as the writer. Use gestures to convey information or instructions. Huh? I like that. I like these two. You know what I mean? Let's also see what this says. Something that indicates or acts as a token of fact, a sign, a condition, etc., that is not immediately or outwardly observable. Would Jude have known? I mean, without a waspy, let's be real. Would Jude have known that the whirlwind, the creator made whirlwinds, whirlpools, the same way he made galaxies? Would you have been able to put that together just automatically? I didn't, until I looked up and I said, damn, everything's spinning. The atoms spinning, the electrons spinning, the everything, the earth spinning, the moon spinning, the sun spinning, everything is spiraling, vibrating in a circular spiral pattern. It is vortex. Okay, its force that it applies, we call vortexia. Y'all may misunderstand, many of y'all misunderstand it as gravity, but it's not like a pull towards the center of the earth. It's a push to the center of the vortex, centrifugal and centripetal, same time. That's why you don't feel it. Okay. I made the whirlwind as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. As you see the power of the whirlwind gathering up dust of the earth and driving it together, know that likewise I bring together the Ji, the semi-light, the Aja, the semi-dark, and the nebula, comet, falling comet material, earth material, falling from the sky. In the firmament, right? The firmament, what is the firmament? We clear on this now? Is the atmosphere. That water above that's separating the water below. Yeah, that so-called water is a fluid substance, but it's ether, misnomered as space. Subjugated to it, and also delivering all sound, light, everything. Every wave of everything is subjugated by ether. Good. And if as above, so below, ain't no way that ether on earth should do what ether in the heavens do, but yet it do. Yes, ether on earth sublimates. It tears things into its chemical weights. Take the good stuff and separate it from the bad. That's what ether do. On some street shit, like when you do in coke. You get that cut stuff, you hit it with the ether, get the good out, separate the bad. Same thing space does. This is why it tears your body apart. Right? You put the water over here, the hydrogen over there, the little iron and nickel and copper and carbon. Yeah, tear you apart. Because ether sublimates corporeal. As above, so below. By the power of the whirlwind, right? I create the corporeal sun, moons, and stars. Now, Aja is semi-dark, gaseous substance. Ji is semi-light, gaseous substance. You seen them clouds, right? Just understand that many of them clouds was dark. Not that it wasn't a cloud there. You just couldn't perceive it. It seemed dark next to this, the Ji, the semi-light. which seemed like a lighter tone, which made it seem like it was space in between there when it's actually not. So that means this stuff could stretch like rivers. So this is actually what happens when we get a blue moon or a pink moon, right? The different substances pass with sheets of sublimated material, man. They think there's nothing out there, man. In some places, it's thick enough to walk in space. You don't even need nothing. You can just walk on it. It's like ground. It's just transparent. Not that it's not there. So when they say, when the flat earth, this is one thing, flat earthers, that I agree with the flat earthers. I agree with the dome part, right? But that's just the atmosphere. Nothing spooky about it. I don't agree with the flat earth part. But they say, oh man, they're throwing me off right now, man. Anyway, it's stupid. I don't want to talk about it anyway. Let's get back to it. Right. So Aja is semi-dark, gaseous substance. Ji is semi-light, gaseous substance. And nebula is rocks, dust, water, or any sublimated corporeal material that would make up a planet or anything in the whole galaxy. Also, notice the creator, right? When he answered you that he gave the whirlwind as a sign to man of how he create worlds. Notice that there's no one next to him creating. To be short, this is the how of creation. And the proof of vortex and vortexia is objective in all creation. The spiral formation or vortex, also known as Fibonacci spiral, is present and observable in all creation. Now look, science agrees with Owaspy. We see these numbers, right, in all spheres of creation, both as simple repeating patterns and as ratios and shapes. In other words, the Fibonacci number sequence is a clear mark of the designer. This is scientists that we can see shaping the nature around us. Somebody woke. Hit me with a vortex in the chat. Look at this. And this is from compassclassroom.com. Fibonacci's numbers, the 1, 2, 3s of creation. Check that out. And look at it. They're not making this up. This is James Webb Telescope. This got took in 2023, high def. Man, ain't no, that's 100K. That ain't 4K, that's 100K. Dang, somebody's shooting. Dang. Hold on, y'all. Boy, they just let off 100. Dang. Well, look at the spiral, the vortex. It's everywhere. From the hurricane to the galaxy to a nautilus shell. Look. This is a plant. This is an aloe. To an acorn. Look, it's everywhere. You can't get away from creator. It's intelligent design. It is only through vortexian force, or the spin, the spiral, that the male sperm reaches the female ovum. Did y'all know that? Sperm tails move like a precessing spinning top. Look. We thought they swam side to side. Nope. We've been thinking this, science been thinking this wrong for over 350 years. They just found this out. Sperm tail moves like a precessing spinning top that cancels out the one-sided swimming stroke in an ingenious corkscrew motion. You can't get away from Creator. And the more you're made aware of it, is the more you'll start to see it in everything. You can't even boil a pot of water without it vortexing. But what? And then think about this. Science didn't have this wrong for over 350 years. Owaspy gave this info in 1881. They just finding this out. Sperm tail moves like a precessing spinning top that cancels out the one-sided swimming stroke, the side to side, in an ingenious corkscrew motion. Symmetry is achieved through asymmetry, enabling human sperm to swim forwards by corkscrew motion. Credits from polymathlab.com. It's literally everywhere, right down to your fingerprints. Look. Look. You don't see that? You don't see it? No. Okay. Now, attempt to wrap your mind around the great simplicity of our Creator. He uses the exact same process to make suns, moons, and stars as he uses to create man. Let that sink in. This reinforces the ideal that if anyone attempts to teach you about any part of creation and they're not speaking of vortex first, not only explaining the creative force first, and they're not vortex first and not explaining the creative force first, it proves objectively from lack of provable information that they're actually just regurgitating the ideas of others that they've been indoctrinated with. How you gonna talk about creation and you ain't talking about vortex first? You always talk about condensing gases. What make gases condense? Vortex, whirlpool, whirlwind. He said, I gave it as a sign. Right? It proves objectively that from lack of provable information, they're actually just regurgitating the ideas of others that they've been indoctrinated with. The Creator says, right? Book of Jehovih 3 and 4, by the power of rotation, swift driving at the periphery, right? On the edges, I condense the atmospheric worlds that float in the firmament. And these become my corporeal worlds, my physical worlds, my earths. In the midst of the vortices, I made them. And by the power of the vortices, I turned them on their axes. This is what makes the planet spin. It also condensed the planet. Look, it said in the midst of the vortice, I made them, the planets. And by the power of the vortice, by it turning on its axis, the earth turns on its axis. And by the power of vortices, I turned them on their axis. And look, Owaspy is dropping this in 1881. And carry them in the orbits I allotted them, wider than to the moons of a planet I have created vortices. So that means what? The moons of the planets are in the atmospheres of the planets. Owaspy is revealing this in 1881. Science didn't figure this out till 2019, that the moon is in the Earth's atmosphere. Y'all still think this white boy made this shit up? Man, thank the Lord. Listen, thank Jehovah for JBN. I don't care who it came to. You dig what I'm talking about? If they was delivering this much light, thank you. That man went through 10 years after being an old man, changed his whole diet up, man. He was really searching for, you dig what I'm talking about? He did what he had to do to get what he had to get. And boy, he got the boatload. Man, they gave him a wasp. What? Shout out to JBN, man. By the power of the vortices, I turn them on the axis and I carry them in the orbits. Ain't nobody with Jaja. I allotted to them. Wider than the moons of a planet, I have created the vortices, and they carry the moons also. Owaspy revealing this in 1881. How? Watch. Guess what? Modern science agrees with Owaspy. Oh, I keep telling you, science agree with Owaspy. It can't do nothing but agree with Owaspy because Owaspy ain't did nothing but told some truth. It's looking at it in a new perspective. Guess what? Science agrees with Owaspy. Look at CERN. This is from CERN. Present observations suggest that the first stars formed from clouds of gas around 150 to 200 million years ago after the Big Bang. Right? Question is, how could Owaspy be revealing this information in 1881 when modern science didn't figure it out till 2011? Let's take objective looks at creation itself. Book of Jehovah. Around some of my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous belts and rings so that man could comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. I gave nebulous belts. This is from James Webb. Hey, hold on. I'm going to go to the live real quick, man. Shout out to the gang, man. I don't be ignoring y'all on the live neither. I can't see, I can't see y'all when I'm blowing the thing up. So, I can't see the chat. I don't be ignoring y'all. But what I was about to ask? I was about to ask something. I'll remember in a second. Let's get back to it. Now, around some of my corporeal planets, right? So my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous, remember that rocky substance, right? Belts and rings so that man could comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. Here we go with Saturn. Nebulous rings. The rings are moving at different densities, right? The more dense towards the planet, the more rarefied out towards the edge. Now, for each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. There again. Cosmon don't be just talking. If anybody is trying to tell you anything about man, anything about creation, making anything, where they trying to tell you how something got started from the beginning, and they not talking about vortex first. Man, listen, even the Bible give a vague surmise, right? About what Creator actually really did. It's saying, what's that? John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Well, if you can read Greek, the letter or the word is actually logos, right? Or is the sign, right? And it is the creative force, supposedly, that God was talking to in the beginning, that they trying to say is Jesus. That's a stretch. You dig what I'm talking about? If anybody is trying to tell you anything about creation, they trying to tell you anything about anything. And they not talking about the thing that make everything. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Tell them Cosmo said it. So yeah, all that Big Bang, and you stuck in a box spiritually and mentally, which is gonna keep you physically not moving. Because if you don't know how nothing works, cognitive dissonance. Because then somebody gonna tell you how it works. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. And by rotation, by the spin, by the vortex, and from the places in the firmament where it traveled, where it picked up shit along the way, spinning, right? Caused the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. The vortex conceived, it condensed the corporeal world to make the sun, right? I made a great vortex, which is called our solar system. The sun and the planets. It moves like a great serpent. To make the sun, I created a great vortex. And within this vortex, and subject to it, I made the vortices of many of the corporeal worlds. The sun vortex I caused to rotate, and I gave it power to carry other vortices within it, according to their density and position. They are thus carried forth around the sun. Dig. Here's a little visual. You dig what I'm talking about? See if I can blow that up a little bit just so everybody can get a little taste of what's really going on right here. Check this out. That's really what's going on. Toroidal, vortexian force. And they don't even know it oscillate. It go up and down like a snake. Up and down and up and down. And our sun is traveling in an orbit around its sun, but we gonna get into that. Come on, Cosmo, you can't give me everything. Come on, cuz. Come on back. Come on back. Right? So they thus carried around the sun. This is from James Webb Telescope. Took it this year. Look at the vortexian pattern. This is real time. This is not CGI made up. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all didn't know this, I'm about to blow y'all cap. James Webb Telescope right now, this very second, is functioning at 483 degrees below zero. It is in space, right? Right? It's in space, right? How is it cold? If the sun gives light to the earth and it's 93 million miles away from, they say, I say it's 100, but 93 million miles away, right? How could the space between Earth and the face of the sun be cold? Why I bring that up is because most people think James Webb Telescope is leaving out our galaxy. It's not. It's going towards the sun. So if it's going to, first of all, in our atmosphere, in the so-called dome, this bubble, right? Everybody want to be in our atmosphere, in the lower space, right? In the lower heavens, the lower atmospheric realm, right? On average, it's about 274 degrees below zero. Ether is cold, 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 right? That's on average. That's in our atmosphere. What I'm saying is going towards the sun is 477 degrees below zero right now. How is it getting colder if I'm going towards the sun? And y'all trying to convince me that the sun warms the planet and gives light when the space in between the planet is black. It's space. There's something to ponder on. This is a pic from the James Webb Telescope. Let's look at things logically, right? If I am the all omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent creator, and I wanted to reveal to man how the creation was created, I would make provisions for my methodology to be written down. Shout out to Malachi Maccabee. And I define what I would explain right on the cover, right? If you was to create just a simple thing, right? I would tell you what my provision was, what I was doing, what I was making it with, and how I did it, right? And then I would define everything that I wanted to tell you about right on the cover. That's a WASP in a nutshell. So it should come as no surprise that the people who actually stand by the creator would bring forth a text not only purported to be from the creator, but a text that outpaces all other spiritual texts in beauty, symmetry, harmony, and oneness. You never even have to go past the cover. And all things are made plain. Look at this here. All right. Get it right here. Right? You don't never even got to go past the cover, rocking with a wasp. Let's get it understood. This is right on the cover. It says Owaspy, a primary for the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of individuals, groups, and humanity. That means as a whole. For their glory, who glory? Humanity as a whole. For their glory, for who glory? For you. For who glory? For these groups? Shout to the creator, gang, man. We're changing the world. We just the first fruits. We just the first. And creator still undefeated. You think you really trying to question why he brought thugs to bring this out? Reformed gangsters and men who always love the creator but been through things. You don't think it's a reason he ain't bring no softies, no groovy gurus? Huh? He brought some dudes that's gonna pop your top every time. You gonna always lose. Gonna never slip. Never. You think it's a game? They said, listen, bro, listen. They said the remnants of the Algonquins in 2023 will be bringing this information out. We the only people bringing this information out. So who the Algonquins? The Negroes of America. Boy, his story way bigger than what y'all think. Like Sheila said, it's a vibe, but come on, man, we got the vibe higher. Owaspy, it's a primary. Don't no book nowhere else in the world got the information that Owaspy got it in the same way it got in it. It's not copied from anything. It's not taken from anywhere except the real lives of men and women that may have died thousands and thousands of years ago. Simple for a creator like ours, right? Yeah, nigga, I just go to the spirit and ask them. They said, well, as a matter of fact, when y'all was alive, I had an angel sitting right on your shoulder that wrote everything down. I don't need you to do nothing. Y'all been talking about guardian angels your whole life. You didn't know what they did. They wrote the record down. Yeah. This how everything is known. Because it's a nigga right next to you. You just can't see him. Yeah, they say, yeah, you crazy, Cosmo. Yep, I know. Like a fox. Right? But when I had to save you silly niggas from hell, man, you lucky I don't just let you burn a second longer. Boy, I done been burnt before, so don't trip. And a pause on that too, man. I wasn't never burnt like that. Hey, but it's a Owaspy, it's a primary source, bro. Ain't nobody got this. And the crazy part is Owaspy literally has its 2 tablets written in stone with the hand of God. The book in copper plates written by John Lant called Romance in a Red Star, nigga, proving that even what John Lant could copy, match damn near almost word for word, except some typing errors and stuff. You dig what I'm talking about? Match word for word. We literally have our 2 tablets written in stone by the hand of God. Where y'all's at? So what I'm telling you, it's a primary source. It don't nobody got the information it got in it. It's a primary source for the information it has in it. What is it? It's a practical spiritual guidebook. It's basically the Junior Woodchuck guidebook of spiritual and practical enlightenment. And it's in the words of the Creator. And it's angel ambassadors. Guess what is angel ambassadors? Guess who work for the Creator? God. Every time you was praising God, that was a fake nigga. True God never asked for praise. Anyways, I'm getting off into this, right? Let's go. Now look, right on the cover, this is the Cosmon Bible. Now look what it contains right on the cover. Don't matter if you believe it or not, it's in there. You ain't got to believe this. I don't care about your opinion on it. Huh? Nigga, it got the history of the dominions of the higher and lower heavens on earth for the past 25,000 years. Does yours? Well, shut up. Stop talking to me about stuff you don't know nothing about then. Do you have in your book, being from the submersion of the continent of Pan, do you know what Pan is? In the Pacific Ocean, commonly called the flood of the deluge, to the Cosmon era, to the present time. Can you do that and put it on a calendar by the day, by the hour, to the minute that the flood happened? Man, y'all better stop playing and start reading, Owaspy. This thing cold. Y'all think Noah a man. You way behind. You believe in children's fairy tales. If you believe Noah's a man. If you believe Ham, Shem, and Japheth were singular men who were born from a man named Noah, nigga, you've been duped. That whole Noah story is allegory for the sinking of the continent of Pond. All right? Also, a brief history of the preceding years from man's beginning. Look, we got man beginning in our book. On the earth, to the flood, in a document, on time, in a primary source. And we don't need 70,000 niggas to touch the damn book over 1,000 years, messing with stuff, taking this out and putting this in and taking that back and then rewriting it again. As the same year they OSP was automatically written. Did y'all know they totally rewrote the Greek version of the Bible and hence the King James? They totally rewrote it. Horton them. Yeah, what is it? What is Witten and Hort? Yeah, that Bible is terrible. And it wasn't finished in 1979. But they changed it in 81. 1881, same year Old Waspy came out. Look at the inspiration. One trying to hide and duck, one revealing everything. Look, you ain't got a brief history from the preceding years, from man's beginning to the earth to the flood. You ain't got that. You ain't got that. Stop capping. Now, I don't really understand why people are so upset about these revelations. It's actually mind-boggling. One would assume that a so-called holy people would hold truth, especially those spiritually based, in high esteem. The Creator was honest. He told you what it was and what it was all about right on the cover. Now look at this. Let me blow it up again. And I gotta blow it up again, okay? But look, we gonna get it. It's okay. Right? He was honest, right? Right on the cover. He gave you a synopsis of the cosmogony of the universe. We asked your God, how did he make the sun, moons, and stars? Crickets! You got a cricket phone? Because you're going to need to call your God. Because he done left you hanging out there on the cosmogony of the universe, nigga, how it was made. On how the creation of planets. Did he do that for you? What about the creation of man? I mean, how? The process. What about the unseen worlds? Did he break down? Do y'all know what y'all gonna do the first 2 years after you die? What about the next 10 after that? Do y'all know the labor and the glory of the gods and the goddesses in the heavens of the earth? Or did y'all only think it was only one God in heaven and earth? All right. With the new commandments from the Creator, did you get them? Get them on your text? To the man of present day and other revelations from the second resurrection, right? There's 3 levels to heaven. The lowest is called Hades. The middle is called Atmospheria. The highest is called Etheria. It ain't even horror. The closer you are to the earth, the more shit you got to purify till you can get up out of the earth atmosphere. And angels ain't got wings. They just dead men. So If you flew somewhere on the earth, you're going to fly somewhere too in the heavens. They got ships, boats, Koaloos. Yeah. Hit different when you in a Koaloo, nigga, and your shit knocking, nigga. Your shit coming through the block looking like a comet. It hit different. Do your homework on a Koaloo. Yeah. This is John Newborough, right? He gave y'all that. And look, watch this. Look. This new edition, right? This the 7th Era Faith version, right? Right? This present edition being placed into the modern English language, being an extraction, compilation, and integration of materials from the first published edition copied in 1882 by John Newborough, right? But look, this the dope part. Right here. This new edition being placed into the public domain in 159 AK. That's after Cosmon. Cosmon started in 1848. What happened? 159 years later is 2007. Y'all know what happened in 2007? If it didn't happen, I don't think none of us would be here. Selah Shalom got a waspy in 2007. Look, it say it was going to be held. And it's new was being placed in 159 years later. Selah get it right on time in 2007. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now look. All right. Now before we get into the creation of man, one of the many benefits of a WASPI, besides a provable cosmogony, is the timetables of prophecy, in which Creator teaches us not only how to prophesy, but also how to tell time. Did your God teach you how to tell time? If not, why not? But let's focus on the time of man's creation. The timetable of prophecy explaining archaic timelines, right? Now let's look at this real quick. Blow this up. All right. Now we done looked at this, right? Now the above chart shows the time of creation in the top right quadrant, right? One quadrant equals 36,000 years. So this green thing is 36,000 years. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh? Is he right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 8, 6, 9. Was right. That's 6,000. That's 6,000. That's 6,000. Okay. This is the 24,000 year of period of creation. This right here, the whole corner, is 36,000 years. Just like this whole corner. From 1 to 12 is 36,000 years. Now, mind you, we over here on 25. Ain't it crazy how Asu is the reverse of USA? That's crazy, right? We are currently in the 7th era, right? Right here, 25. 175 years into the Cosmine era. Right now, Asu, right, is shown to arrive in the second half of the second creation, being 6,000 years before the Ions, right? So the Ions, Sethanti, come with Sethantes right here, 72,000 years ago. And what? 6,000 years before the Ions, we have, look, who? The Neogene, Permian mid-Miocene, Asu standardized and honed, and Proto-Asu of many varieties, the hominins. You dig what I'm talking about? Each of these periods is a 3,000 year period. So from here to here is 3,000. That's an arc cycle. From here to here is 3,000. That's an arc cycle. From here to here is 3,000. And you can see how it's measured out in time. And time is, like I said, in truth, cyclical. So look where we at. This is the first era over here. Right here, 95,000 years ago, BC, right? Infusoria of simple cells and organisms. This is called the Archean Eon, right? 3,000 years later, oxygen triumphs. This is the Protozoic Eon, simple poisonous plants and serpents. Next is the Paleozoic era, or complex poisonous plants and serpents. Then mass extinction at the Permian Triassic boundary, right here, right? Not millions of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? At the pre-Permian boundary. Now, right here, we get into the last 12,000 years, right? Man hasn't even been created yet. Look, we had the Triassic period. Skeletal creatures are made, such as dinosaurs, right? Then we got mammals come on the planet some 3,000 years later. This is the Paleogene period. This is where everything go crazy. Right? This the Cambrian, this the pre-Cambrian. All this stuff just go crazy. Dinosaurs, mammals, Paleogene period, right? 6,000 years before the end of this 20,000 year period, right? This Gadol, right? What will be the first and second times of creation, right? 6 years before 72,000 BC will be 78,000 BC, Proto-Asu, or the early hominids, right? In various types, was made all over the world, everywhere, all at the same time. And per where you were on the earth, so is your color. Reading week. This is the Neogene, mid-Miocene. Then Asu is standardized, right? This is when we see Australopithecus and all that stuff step up on the scene. The more taller, big men, more of the various types weed out, right? Then we come to the very first men with spiritual ability, right? Very first Homo sapiens. So this explains the hominin, so-called ancestor. You dig what I'm talking about? The lost ancestor connection that they're looking for. The connection is us. You that beast thing too. Yeah, ain't no escaping from that. And just like you perfect today, for this time, your ancestors were perfect for their time. Yeah. All right. Now, essentially, the creation was a process of detoxification and preparation of the milieu and body that would sustain the species of man with immortal soul that began via the angels with certainties once again. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me come down out of this a little bit. Now, okay. Now, this is the true explanation for your 6-day creation myth. And also why Peter claims that a day is like 1,000 years to the Lord in the Bible, right? See how actual knowledge can change your whole point of view. The story actually starts to make sense when it is revealed that the 6,000 years, the 6 days, is not the time allowed for all creation, but for the creation of man on the earth, circa 78,000 years ago. Also, Owaspy, Adam and proto-Adam revelations may have just answered one of the scientists' greatest genetic conundrums, which is why is there so much genetic variation between the more archaic hominids and the more modern Homo sapien types, right? This is per Stanford News, April 26, 2001. Stanford study dives deeper into genetic differences between modern and archaic humans. Researchers examined of 14,000 genetic differences between modern humans and our most recent ancestors at a new level of detail. They found that the differences in gene activation in gene activation, not just genetic code, would underline evolution of the brain and vocal tract. Now, this is by Taylor Kabuka. Now, FYI, Owaspy supports the epigenetic model. We ain't saying that the gene is just changing. No. We saying different admixtures make certain genetic codes turn on that wouldn't if you hadn't admixed with other different things. This is how you get different skin tones and types by mixing, right? Now, here's a more linear view of the timetable, right? So we see this right here, right? Once again, we see this. Right. This is pre the very first arc cycle. We in the 25th. So this is 6,000 year period, right? Called the Simuan age, or your 6 days of creation. And this is when Adam is about to be made, right? This is where we talking about. This 6,000 year period, or this last 24,000 year period, is called Hak, or darkness. Remember, well, let's just keep going. The book of Jehovah, right? Tell me, oh my creator. Now, this is the voice of Tay, or all good men. Questions that all good men have asked. You know what I mean? And be honest, have you asked yourself this question? Ask your creator this question. Tell me, oh my creator, where did life come from? This unseen within me that is conscious of being. Tell me how all the living came into life. So Jehovah heard the words of man, and he answered him, saying, let a sign, there we go again. Let a sign be given to man that he may comprehend. Simu. And so Jehovah caused the jellyfish and the green scum of the water to be permanently coming forth in all ages, so that man could understand the age of Simu, right? The age of Simu is those 24,000 years of creation where everything was going crazy, right? The Cambrian, right? The Mid-Miocene, right? So creators is trying to explain it to you. He says, when the earth and the shores of the water and the waters also were covered with commingled atmosphere and corporeal substance, this substance was called Simu or galactic semen because why? By his presence, who? The creator, Jehovah, quickened it into life. And in that way, he made all the living, listen, both vegetable and animal worlds. So when they asking you the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken. Jaja made the whole chicken. Bunches of them. Everywhere. Right? He made all the living, both the vegetable and animal worlds, not that Simu is jellyfish or the green scum of water. For in this day, today, 2023, the earth does not produce Simu abundantly. Nevertheless, the jellyfish and the green scum of water. Now, if y'all have always been around water, right, like I have, I grew up around rivers and lakes and stuff out here. Ponds and gravel pits and all that stuff. And if you grew up by the rivers and the lakes, if you be down there, you'll find this little gelatinous little clear substance. That's like a representative of Simu. Now, if you could imagine that shit falling to the earth with everything in it. With everything in it. Oxygen, life, you know what I mean? Everything, heat, water. Literally scrubbed the air clean. It would have mashed the plants. And you got to think about it. The plants before that. Look, let's go back. Let's just look real quick. All right. Right here, look. The plants already exist. Look. The plants already exist. They munching on the all that crushing gas. So the plants would have been monstrous. The trees would have been in the sky. Now they always got this old story I hear about that people be saying that the mountains used to be trees. So I take that I look at that different now. You know what I mean? When I used to giggle at it, now that I know Jaja used Simu to literally mash the destroying gases into the plants, into the animals. That means some shit dead. Got burnt because what could burn a tree that was that big that was in the sky, in the clouds? What could burn it down? What could cut one down? I don't think a man could do it. But anyways. All right. Here we go. Now, because by his presence, Jehovah quickened it into life, and in that way he made all the living, both the vegetable and animal worlds. Not that Simu was jellyfish or green scum of water, for in this day the earth does not produce Simu abundantly. Nevertheless, jellyfish and green scum of water are signs of that which was in that day. What day? 6,000 years before 72,000 years or before the very first Homo sapiens were created. Adam and them, pure hominid. Homo sapien, a little smarter. That's iron. Right? Jehovah said, because of my presence, I quickened into life all that live or ever have lived. Because I am male and female, even in my likeness, I made them thus. Who? Everything. Not just men. Everything. Because I am the power to quicken into life, so in likeness of me, I made them with power to bring forth. Now, warning. If you're racist or practice colorism or lookership, this may cause cognitive dissonance. Now, I gave you a warning. Now, according to their respective places, I created them, right? The living. This is the creator speaking. Let me go back. According to their respective places, I created the living. Animal, man, all of it, plants, everything. According to their respective places, I created the living. Not in pairs only, but in hundreds of pairs. So not just one Adam and Eve, in hundreds of Adams and Eves, and in thousands and in millions of pairs, everywhere, all at the same time. Y'all think God's so weak. He got to just he can only make one man in Africa, and he was just one nigga in Africa. And this girl turned his back on. She brought sin in the work. Man, come on. Got to stop with these children's stories. According to their respective places, right? So let's go back and read again. According to their respective places, men, animals, plants, I created the living. Not in pairs only, but in hundreds of pairs, and in thousands, and in millions of pairs. Of what? Everything. According to their respective places, and listen, the light upon Simu. Right? So I quickened them in their color, adapted to their dwelling places. So you got darker skin because your ancestors lived closer to the equator or somewhere there was more light. You got lighter skin originally if you're in a place where light is low and you need to use light different. So even the skin was made for man to dominate certain areas. I got a whole problem with niggas is the people of the sun shit. You know what I mean? I would really like to have this conversation with a real nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? We ain't got to even get into it, but I'm going to just bring out a little bit of, saying what I'm saying. I think white folks is the people of the sun. Oh, here you go, Cosmo. God damn it. Now you got to explain this shit. But we're going to keep going. According to their respective places and the light upon Simu. Remember, this galactic substance is miles deep. So I quickened them in their color, adapted to their dwelling places. So color is an epigenetic adaptation to the environmental stimulus called light. Get over all your colorism. Huh? Get over all your hate, your racism, and bias. Because you can't tell what a thing is by what color it is, no way. Hmm? How many of these coon ass niggas you met was blue black? You can't tell. Each and every, hold on, the people, Cosmine, the animals, just the animals. No, each and every living thing I created. No. That kills evolution. Don't nothing change into nothing else. If you can mix with it and produce a viable child in the end, y'all the same thing. Men can't make with monkeys. I don't care what you're trying to make me believe. You can't unless you're trying to produce put an already inseminated human fetus in a monkey. Ain't no way it work. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna make no half monkey man. That ain't. And even if you could, it would still be sterile. Huh? Each and every living thing I created new upon the earth, of a kind each to itself. Huh? So yeah, I made one blue, I made one red, I made one yellow. Over here, I made them polka dots. Jaja got jokes like that too. And you'll see the same animal, just depends on where the sea moo landed, how it, because you will see a horse and then you'll see a seahorse. So if one became an animal in the water and one became an animal on the land, where is the sea? Where is the air horse? Because it was shit that the sea moo that was in the air turned into birds. Huh? Where the air horse at? Is it Pegasus? Real talk. I'm just is it Pegasus? Is that where the whole mythos come from? I'm just saying, Cosmon be just asking y'all to think a little bit. Think out the box. I wasn't never in the box. I think I had one arm still trying to get out the box even when I was in it. This kills evolution. And we can prove this objectively. If you think you can breed a wolf to a dog and it comes out with a viable offspring that can reproduce with either a wolf or a dog or another half wolf dog, it can't. It can't. Proving that nothing starts as one thing and then over time changes to another. Impossible. Showing you that Asu, that early beastly Lucy ass nigga, is you. Like it or not. That's you. It's a man. And somebody had sex with it, right? Or else you wouldn't be here. So you had a little ugly daddy. You dig what I'm talking about? That was with your little ugly mama. Somewhere in the cave in Africa, nigga. We was big balling in America. You know what I mean? We was a little different over here. You know what I mean? We was still savage though. I ain't gonna lie. You did want to. But we was made for it. You dig what I'm talking about? We was made for it. Crazy part is we learned from the animals first. Shit. We was here 6,000 years before the first guy got here. Wasn't no guy here for the very first 6,000 years of man creation. Yeah, he was all here by himself. Look, in each and every living thing I created new upon the earth, of a kind each to itself, and not one living thing did I create out of another. Huh? My creative juice didn't run out. I ain't fall asleep on the sixth day. Now, this is a representation of Simu, or galactic semen. Now, I want you to imagine this falling out the sky 2, 3, 4 miles high. Miles. On the water, on the land, everywhere. Right? This is the green pond scum. Now, the crazy part is if you take this and look in there and take it under a microscope, you're going to see very small infinitesimal plants. Whatever this is, whatever brand of plant this is, it's going to be the infinitesimal version of that. So if it's from a cypress, it's going to be little infinitesimal cypresses in there. So proving what Jehovah is saying is that this shit, even the plants didn't come from seed, even the originals. I brought everything here and grew it up as it is. Now, what's the definition of Simo? Simo from Owaspy is co-mingled. Now listen, this is co-mingled, all mixed together. This is earth. So everything that make up an earth, think about all the stuff, all the chemicals, all the compounds, all the factors all the dirts and all the different, everything that it would take to make up an earth is co-mingled with air and water and heat and thick atmosphere. You're starting to see protoplasmic like. Huh? Jaja said, I give you this as a sign so you can understand what was going on right here in this 6,000 year period from 77,523 to 71,523 BC, called the Simuan Age, where we was being created, all of us. Look, the serpents predate the animals. Plants predate. The plants many of them was created from the crushing gases. Look. Hold on. So you can quit with all that blackety black, better than you because I got color melanin, carbon 6, this 666. Shut up. Are you good? I don't care what color you are. Simu is co-mingled earth. Listen, your whole planet is being drugged through this. For 24,000 years. It's being drugged through this substance. It literally cleaned out your atmosphere and left air. Literally weighed down and pressed it. Thick atmosphere. So it would lay on the lesser atmosphere, which would be the crushing gases, and it would literally go into the ground, burning fire. Hot. Protoplasmic like. Colloidal. A colloidal-like substance. What does colloidal mean? The proceeding substance of the living. Look at this. Right? The definition of colloidal. It's a homogeneous, non-crystalline substance consisting of large molecules, right? Or ultra microscopic particles of one substance dispersed through a second substance. So just like your sperm are in a fluid, right? It is colloidal. It is one thing in another, right? So this is what they're telling you Simu is. It is carrying the seeds of life in it. It got earth in it. It got air and water, heat, commingled with a thick atmosphere, protoplasmic life. Remember, they always say Adam used. They used to tell Adam, early Adam. There was a time where we was in like a spirit world where we was half in our body, half out. Y'all remember them stories? What if there's some truth to it? What if that's early creation of man? Because Simu would have still been on the fucking planet, yo. It would have still been on the planet. 3,000 years, shit. At least 6,000 years it was on the planet. More than that, 24,000 years it was on the planet. But I'm just saying, when man was here with it, 6,000 years, and then man had two versions of himself. He bred, he more stabilized his how do I put this? His species, right? By probably correct breeding. You know what I mean? Because like, who would have taught Adam, a beast man, about incest? How would he know you wouldn't? That don't come naturally. It comes naturally now, right? But not for him. He got tired and his tongue started hanging out. The dog, he look over, see a dog, his tongue hanging out. He don't know, even though he thirsty. He don't know what to call it. He not that smart yet. Asu, Adam, not that smart. He don't know what thirst is. His tongue just hanging out. He look over and see the dog who tongue hanging out. He dip his head in the water and lick the water up. He come back up. His tongue ain't hanging out no more. He say, shit. Let me see if I... So if you don't believe that, man, listen, wasn't no angels here to raise him up. He came straight out the ground, just like the animals. You dig what I'm talking about? But he was a man. Right? So Simu is that protoplasmic-like colloidal substance, the preceding substance of life. Right? Definition of colloidal, right? We got into this, right? The homogeneous non-crystalline substance consisting of large molecules of ultramicroscopic particles of one substance dispersed through a second substance. Colloids include gels, sols, emulsions, and the particles do not settle. So they with each other, they coexist, right? They don't settle, right? They're two different things in one, and cannot be separated out by ordinary filtering or centrifuging like those in a suspension. Now, even science tries its best to explain Simu. It's called the panspermian theory. What is the panspermian theory? From ancient Greek, ta pan, meaning all, sperma, meaning seed, is the hypothesis that life existed throughout the universe, distributed by space dust. Look at this. Meteoroids, listen. Asteroids, comets, and planetoids. Listen, this is the panspermian idea. So they think they come in meteoroids, asteroids, comets, and planetoids, and space dust. This is per Wikipedia. Watch. Have the building blocks, This is a logical question. Will have the building blocks of life been found on meteorites? That would go a long way to proving Owaspy objectively truthful, right? Would you agree? Let's see what science says. Science says, right? This is per News Science, right? Go look it up. All of the bases of DNA, in DNA, the A, the C, the T, the G, and RNA have been found in meteorites. Huh? What you know about Simu? The discovery adds to evidence that suggests life precursor came from space. Right? Two of these four nucleobases, right? Adenine and guanine, which belong to a group of chemical compounds called purines, which were first detected in meteorites in the 1960s. Did y'all know that? Now, if you see in this adenine, y'all may not know this one, but many of us know this one, guanine, or what they like to say, guanine. Right? Did y'all know this is the A and the G from ACTG of your genetics, of all genetics, period? This is the basis. Look, 2 of the 4 was found in 1960. Watch this. In Japan, and his colleagues have discovered the remaining 2 DNA nucleobases, cytosine and thymine, known as pyrimidines, in several meteorites. Now, this is April 26, 2002. We ain't stuck on that old bullshit. How I get there? How the building blocks for all DNA getting meteorites in space. See, moon. Now look, the ACTG, all 4 of the key DNA building blocks have been found in meteorites. Let that sink in a second. Proving the higher light revealed in the Owaspy, right? The book of earth, sky, and spirit. Shouldn't it be telling this? Huh? Human history in Owaspy goes back a mere 78,000 years to the creation of Adam, or Asu. The fossil records also show that various stages of animal life existed and became extinct in cycles, millions of years before the first humans appeared. Now, at the foundation of the first heavens of the earth, which correlates to the creation of the first Homo sapiens, or men with spiritual ability, called Abel, right, in the Bible, we find in the book of Septuagints a very curious date is given to commemorate the event, right? Now, this is the book of Septuagints, 5:2, book of Septuagints 2:29. And look what it says. And the record of the great serpent showed the firmament of Timyi in the 3rd circuit, Savorcum, and Dena 24. Right? Now, when I first read this, well, look, with the common understanding, right? Now, we understand what the Savorcum is, but for those who don't know, we're going to get into it. Right? Now, with the common understanding that, like, one Savorcum, or one orbit of the solar system, right? This is what Savorcum is, right? So they're saying in the 3rd circuit of Savorcum in Dana 24. Watch this. With the common understanding that one Savorcum equals one orbit of the solar system, which equals roughly, and I'm rounding up because we like round numbers. I'm actually rounding down. and because I like round numbers. 4.7 million lunar years, right, to make one orbit of our planet, of our sun around its sun, right? Now, one Dana, right, it is a 3,000 year period. Now, it said we in the 24th Dana that this event, man was being raised up, being created on the planet after having been bred with the angelic host called Eve, right? Now, we got one Dana equals 3,000 years, right? So you got to times that by 24, which equals 72,000 years, right? So that is 4.7, right? Third circus of Orcam, right? 4.7 times 3 equals 14.1, right? Million, right? Plus the 72,000 equals 14,172 million years. Now, I must admit, at first glance, it is very easy to assume that the date given is the overall date of the earth. Listen to me. You would think that's the overall date of the earth. Obviously, the earth is magnitudes older than the third circuit of Savorcum and Dana 24th, given as the time of Eve in the book of Sethantes 2 and 29, right? Right? We just showed it. Right? But a deeper study, right? But a deeper study reveals that this is not, listen, Cosmo, I'm going to drop some heat on you. This is not the age of the earth, but the age of man upon earth prior to Adam being created. Prior to this version of Homo sapiens sapien in 72,000. Prior to Adam in 78,000. This is not the age of the earth. This is what I had to wrap my mind around too. For years, this baffled me. Right? But a deeper study, right? Being real about it, being upfront about it, questioning everything, reveals this is not the age of the earth, but the age of man upon the earth. Thus, listen, the first humans appeared on earth nearly 14 million years before Adam. Now, the footnote on page 17 of Owaspy says 14.17 million years, but it was not the age of the earth, but of man on earth. Now, this isn't even in a straight line. This process goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's winter, summer, winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Right? Our whole universe is objective. So man has been on and off earth prior to Adam even being created in this, the seventh iteration of man. Right? We got a whole nother iteration before he can just go kaput. We got an eighth version that's coming after us. We're going to die out. Yeah, we're going to go extinct. But don't worry about it. It's roughly 70,000 years from now. Don't worry about it. But man been on and off earth in repetitive cycles. Ain't that what time do? Is cyclical. But it was not the age of earth, but the age of man on earth. But even a greater cycle is revealed through the timetables of prophecy, and that is the circuit, right? The circuit, right, is a 239,616,000 year period of time, right, which is one trip of our sun around the galactic center, right, which is our sun's sun. Our sun, right, its sun is called Heracleon or Tau Sinus, the northern star today, right? We spin around it. It goes around the galactic center. Owaspis say it takes exactly 239,616,000 years to make one trip of our sun around the galactic center. How was Owaspis even doing this in 1881? What are you talking about, galactic center? He ain't even talking about our solar system. He talking about the galactic center. How did he know in 1881? And this is true. Let that sink in for a second. Watch this. Does science again agree with Owaspis on this point? Yes. Except since Owaspis is the nigga who really did this, he come with precise information. Look what science says. Does science agree with Owaspis on this point? That there is a circuit around the trip of the sun? How did he know this in 1881? Yes. It's called the galactic year. The galactic year, also known as a cosmic year, is the duration of time required for the sun to orbit around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. One galactic year is approximately 230 million Earth years. Well, what do Owaspis say? Jaja say it's 239, 616 to be exact. Whippersnapper. Science, catch up. Jaja say catch up. Now, Leon Stacy, 2002 period of sun orbits around the galaxy, the cosmic year, the physics fact book. Right? You got that. Now, remember, this was written and revealed through Owaspis in 1881. Science didn't figure this out until 2002. Which lends credibility to the words found in Owaspis, because the only person who knew about the galactic year in 1881 was the one who created it, the creator himself, Jehovah. Via radio telescopes, astronomers have learned that our sun has two distinct orbits in the Milky Way. The larger is a huge circuit around the galaxy at a velocity of roughly 200 miles per second in one orbit. It's 239,616 years. That's one circuit. Now, remember, Owaspis reveals we are currently in the 23rd grand circuit. Scientists currently estimate the age of the Earth to be between 3.5 to 4.5 billion years old, right? Right. Now, that's only 15 to 18 trips around the galaxy. Remember, we in the 23rd grand circuit. Uh-oh. Owaspis about to turn science on his head. Watch this. That's only 15 to 18 trips around the galaxy with a little bit of applied mathematics. Owaspis is rendering clarity on the true age of the planet. Look, 15 circuits. Here go your 3.5 billion years, right? That's 15 circuits, right? And at 18 circuits, here go your 4.5, 4.3 billion year old day, right? But look what Owaspis is rendering up. It's over 5.5 billion. Don't they always tell you, do the math? Man. Men lie, women lie, men lie, women lie, men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. Now, which is over 1 billion years older than what geological scientists theorized the Earth to be. There is a simple explanation for all this. Worlds are Jehovah's gardens, and thus the Earth has growing seasons, which Oahspe calls sums in the book of Shong 2 and 6, right? Of 576,000 years each, years duration each. There are 8 gardens, listen, in one circuit of Savorcum. So it's 8 576,000 year periods in a 4.7 million year period. Okay. In the history, there are 8 gardens in one circuit of Savorcum, and in the history of man upon earth, the current garden is the 23rd, being the 7th magnitude or sum. This is per the book of Eighth 3 and 3 in the 3rd circuit of Savorcum. Now, a single garden consists of 4 ages of 144,000 each, right? These sums, right? It's 576,000 times 4 is 144,000. Here's your 144,000. They're not men, they're years, right? And that leads us right back to the lesson, the name of the lesson, the Eoptian age. The optimal age for the man to exist upon the planet is 144,000 years. And this is why he has been on and off the planet for so long. We've been doing this a long time. Look, a single garden consists of 4 ages of 144,000 years. Yeah, it's not no men, they're years. The first is called Simu, or the time of creating. Right? The second, Hotu, the time of growing. Then Adu, harvesting. And then finally, Uz, the time of destruction and rest before the next garden begins. So you see how this is acting like spring, summer, winter, fall. What they're saying is through the great spin of our planet around it, the sun, this is why we get the seasons we get, but also to our sun around its sun, right? Is how we get the seasons we get. So on the macro and micro level, things are being affected by motion. Our human season, right? Listen, in the garden is called the Eoptian age. Also with a duration of 144,000 years. The garden ages, Simu, Hotu, Adu, and Uz are further halved to seasons of 72,000 years. So they're taking 144,000 and cutting it into 2 parts of 72,000. Just like the 144,000 is 1/4 of the 576,000 year period. Okay, y'all following? Right. Oahspe often refers to these 3, right? To these 3 to the 3 of these half ages, right? These 72,000 year periods as Hak, Cephas, and Cosma. Because these 3 are involved during the Eoptian or optimal age of human existence on the earth. Remember, it's 144,000 years. Book of Fragapati, right? 2442, which refers to Hawk, Cephas, and Cosma. The accompanying plate, right, illustrates the relationship of 8 gardens with 1 Savorcum and 4 ages and 8 seasons with each garden. The Eoptian age or human existence began with the creation of Adam Asu in this garden 6,000 years, right? 6,000 years, your 6 days of creation, 6,000 years before the end of Hak, before the end. Because in Hak, right, after Hak, we go into Cephas. And that's per the book of knowledge 14, 4 and 18. In the my bad, that's supposed to be C Moon age, right? Eve arrived with the 24th Dana of Hak, right? At the beginning of Cephas. The middle of the Eoptian age was marked by the building of the Great Pyramid. So 2500 BC, 4,500 years ago, was the halfway point, right? For the inhabitable time of man on the planet, right? They're letting that sink in. When the pyramids was being built, they was allowed to be built as a sign to men, as the halfway or 72,000 year period point to where we going into something different. Right? Which is 2 arcs before Cosmos, 6,000 years ago. And that's per the Book of the Wars. At the 24th Dana, right, of Cephas, 1848, right, CE. Cephas ended and Cosmon began. That's right. Now, in this garden, we human are destined for extinction some 66,000 plus years from now. We as faithists in one ever-present creator also offer the revelation that an ark is a 3,000 year span of time and not a boat, revealing truths long lost behind the allegorical tales like Noah's Ark, right? Noah's Ark and the Ark of Noah, right? And y'all got to know, we're not pulling this out our ass. Time is measured in arcs, not only on the massive galactic scale like we talking about, 3,000 year periods and all that, breaking it down, you know, putting everything on the timeline, making it make sense like a real scientist would, like a man who cares about what he's saying would. He takes the time to look, make sure he's not about to go out here looking foolish. Time down to the seconds, milliseconds, is measured in arcs. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. Watch that. Watch that. Watch that. Watch that. That's Cura. What? Watch this. Boom. So not only on the 3,000 year period, a minute of arc or an arc minute, right? Or minute arc denoted by the symbol bling, is a unit of angular measurement equal to 1/60th of 1 degree. Since 1 degree is 1/360th of a turn or complete rotation. Like Owaspi is telling you, man, this shit ain't guesswork. The nautical mile was originally defined as the arc length. So not only on the 3,000 year periods, the 3,600 year period, the 2,400 year periods, we talking about down to the arc minutes. So the actual Earth circumference is very near 21,600 nanominutes, or a minute of arc is pi times 10⁸ of a radian. Right. Hold on. Oh, I'm not even showing it. Damn. Hold on. Okay. Look. Cosmo don't make this shit up. Minute and second of arc. A minute of arc, an arc minute. 1 degree, the nautical mile. All right. Since 1 degree is 1/360th of a turn or a complete rotation, 1 arc minute is 1/2100 600th of a turn. The nautical mile was originally defined as the arc length, right? Dig this. Of a minute of latitude on a spherical Earth, so the actual Earth circumference is very near 21,600. A minute of arc is pi over 10/180 of a radian. These units originated in Babylonian astronomy, sexagesimal and or sub-base divisions of the degree. They are used in fields that involve very small angles, such as what? Astronomy, optometry, ophthalmology, optics, navigation, land surveying, marksmanship. All right, let's get back to it. Right. So we as faith is in one ever-present creator also offer the revelation that an ark is a 3,000 year span of time and not a boat, revealing truths long lost, being the allegorical tales of Noah's Ark and the Ark of the Covenant. I don't think anybody here would debate that there is an intelligent designer of the universe. It hit different when your Bible teaches high cosmological science, though. See, the Eoptian age or human existence began with the creation of Adam Asu in this garden 6,000 years before the end of Hak, or this is per the Book of Knowledge, 418 in the Seamoon age. Hak is a 72,000 year period found within the Seamoon age, or that halftime I was showing y'all, right? Look, let's blow it up. Blow it up so you can see. All right. This is the now this is 72,000 year period found within the Seamoon age, or the time of the creation, right? Now this is a cross section of our cosmic cycles. Now, in the third circuit of Savorcum, 24th Dani of Hak, right? Sethantes 2 and 29, right? This is a Savorcum, the 4.6 million year, 608 million years, right? Now, the Savorcum is the subgalactic orbit of our solar system, called the Great Serpent, the Tao Sang, Jormungandr, all type of shit. Khan, Ankh, currently moving towards the constellation of Hercules with a speed of 12 miles per second, right? So what they're saying is, in this 4.6 million year period, roughly, right? It's chopped up into 8 parts of 576,000. We are in the 7th part of the 76,000. There's another one to go after this, right? So this is what they're explaining, right? We are in the seventh garden, right? In the seventh magnitude, right? So here we are. We are in the garden in this seventh 576,000 year period, right? Per the book of Eve 3 and 3, right? Each garden, right? Or 4 ages of 144,000 years each, called spring, the Eoptian age or summer, the habitable time, autumn, fall, and winter, also called ooze, right? So in the springtime, right, this first 144,000 years, which is split in two, the second half of that period is called Hak, right? This is 144,000 years split into two, 72,000 years apiece, right? The last 6,000 years, right, man was created. In the last 6,000 years before Cephas, right? Before the Eoptian age. So look, see this little overhang right there? That's a little 6,000 years right there. All right? Now, I want you to notice the degrees, right? These are called Gadals, or 24,000 year periods. These 72,000 year periods are broken down into three 24,000 year periods, right? And these 24,000 year periods that link with our what the name is it's slipping my it deals with the wobble of our planet and oh man, it's slipping my tongue right now. But each 24,000 year period, right? Per the book of knowledge, cosmology, fragopathy, fragopathy anyway. For every 24,000 years, the Earth degree drops 1 degree. So if you bring Simu down here, you get perfect man here. Right there, right where he said he was coming, right? They said if you put Simu at 99, right? So at 102, you get fever. Look down here. 91, you get death. So our body temperature is tied into the time, or is tied into the Earth's temperature, right? These are 16 arcs apiece, right? 48,000 year cycles, right? We are in the current Eoptian age. Cephas, which starts right here, 72,000 years ago, right? This is where we at. We right here. See this? Right here. Funny, if you do your body temperature, they say we about 98.6 degrees. We right here on Cosmo. Yep. So we done been through Cephas already and 6,000 years of Hak.
since the creation of man. Right? Asu is born at the end of Hak, right? At the end of Hak, Simu in the Book of Knowledge 4:18, right? So we back here, right? The human crop is planted on earth. Ashon, book 3 and 15, chapter 3:15, Lord's fifth book, 3. And the synopsis, look, the synopsis of 16 cycles, the first 48,000 years, is all taking place in Cephas since the creation of man. Look, 6,000 years before Homo sapiens sapien, or Homo sapiens, excuse me. The synopsis of 16 cycles, right? Now, this is where we are right here in the next 16 cycles, right? We right past here, 175 years into the Cosmon era, or 3 seasons, 16 arcs, right? Times 3,000, 48,000 years apiece. You see what I'm saying? The 144,000 or 72, you see what I'm saying? The 144,000 is broken at 3/48. Now look, this is where the pyramids were built. This is the midway part. We go extinct way over here. You dig what I'm talking about? So now we know when man was created. 78,000 exactly. I'm not guessing. 78,175 years ago this year. Asu, our great grandfather, and Eve had them some drink. You dig what I'm talking about? I was smoking out some of that good and got together. And you dig what I'm talking about? Made this thing happen, Captain. Without y'all, we couldn't have did it. You dig what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I can't get mad about it. I'm here. I'm happy. You know. Hold on. Now, hold on. Let me blow it up just a little bit more. I know y'all can't see it. My bad. So you got science all widow washby. We breaking it down, putting it in the time cycles, putting it on charts so you can see it and make it make sense in your own mind. It's not nothing you got to believe about. Nigga, can you add? If you can add, you can pretty much do some of the timetables of prophecy, and you can just at least check our math and see if we right. We know it's right. Yeah, we can do it 2 ways, from the moon or from the sun. Don't play. With this type of high-level spiritual information being revealed in just the creation of man upon the earth, people may ask, how do you prove these things true? And I will answer in the way of the Creator. Book of Cosmogony and Prophecy. Prophecy is not guesswork. Hold on. I'm going to answer you in the way of the Creator. Prophecy is not guesswork. We ain't guessing. We know what we talking about. We don't believe it. We've studied it. Do your Bible even teach you how to prophesy? Huh? If not, why not? You need to question this. You need to test the spirit. Talking to me about a book that you don't even rock with. I test the spirit. Prophecy is not guesswork, niggas. Absolute rules govern all things. See, we clear on this side. No convoluted allegorical stories confusing myth with reality. We don't need or use belief where creator or its creation is involved. Creation is objective, and so must be your method of proving Creator through his creation. We choose to use empirical and historical data, the scientific method in accordance with mathematics, tied into what is commonly known, tempered with logic and common sense. For many, math nor cosmological sciences are their strong suits. So, to recap shortly, archaic man, Adam, was created 6,000 years before the first Homo sapiens during the age of Hawk, circa 78,000 years ago. Right? OWASP also offers scientific answers to the great variations between hominins and hominids. The Ions, or Abel, the first Homo sapiens, were created 72,000 BC. They say the Ions was white and yellow. They're pretty sisters. Shortly after, right, the Druk came, right? And what people need to understand about this is Druk means a person who doesn't get spiritual things. Can't get it. Not that he necessarily bad, but if you around a bunch of people who don't understand spiritual things, well, death is around the cone. Right? And yet they are man. Creator gave to them too. Shortly after the Druk, right, was Cain was created, circa 7100 BC. We got Cro-Magnon, we got Neanderthal, we got Denisovan, and we got Homo erectus. Funny though, right? They always try to say everybody come out the Homo erectus out of Africa, right? Funny is they found the Homo erectus first, but did the blood work studies on Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, and Denisovan, and still haven't done them on Homo erectus. Why don't you do it on these niggas down here? Crazy. Now, commonly called erectus, Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, and Denisovan types. So look, it did this. To this. And when this, you got this. Homo erectus, Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, Denisovan. Asu, Adam, right, breeds with the Druk, Cain, right? Asu, right, breeds with Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, Denisovan, Homo erectus, right? And produces the yak, the ground people, what we call Yetis and Bigfoots. The Ions able breed with the Druks. The Ions breed with the Druks. Right? And through hybrid vigor, produced the large copper-colored negroidal race called Ahuan. And if you don't believe that the Ahuans are niggas and they was in America, who built Teotihuacan? What about Tihuanaco? You don't know what y'all doing. You don't even know what you're looking for. Through hybrid vigor, right? From breeding up. Once you breed, look, when they bred down, right? They got these. When these bred up, you got viable children. But not only a viable children, it was now you had the big body with all the spirit. All right? And when that iron, or when the drug breed with the iron, he breed up. And through hybrid vigor produced a large copper-colored negroid race all over the planet called Ahuan. I have coined the term Homo sapien gigantes for this Ahuan as the genus for these people. Look. These men are massive. I'm talking about men way bigger than him. He's 8-foot dudes. Amazing that all this genetic admixture, right? The niggas, the yaks, the drunks, right? The ions, the different hominid types, right? These die out before the very first arc cycle is done. But before that, they didn't bred with multiple people, right? Bred with the angels. These bred with the angels and produced them. Weird. But what else would they look like? And because they 50% earth DNA and 50% angelic DNA, they was little. This is why 6.6, this is why 666 is the mark of the beast and the number of man. It's actually a genetic base. 66.6 more earth DNA than angelic, you are beast. 66.6 and less, meaning you have 33.3% or more DNA of angelic beings. And man today is tending towards that perfect blend at 60-40. You know what I mean? Now Asu Adam, right? Before 1,000 years before this arc cycle is over, breeds with these guys, the Neanderthal, the Homo erectus, and the Denisovans, and they produce a man. See the Yetis, the Bigfoots, and all them, those is men. Right? Adam breeded with Cain and produced the yak, the ground people, the Yeti. Right? Now, amazing that all this genetic admixture happened before the end of the very first arc cycle called Wan. Also a 3,000 year period right here. See this first arc cycle? That's Wan under Seth and T's archangel. Man was just created 6,000 years before that. Right? Eve, the angelic host that came with certainties, and the beast man Adam had sex, produced the Abel iron. So this is your Adam Eve story. This is why so many stories tell you about angels coming out the sky mating with women. It happens. Yeah. Everybody can't be lying. Everybody's saying the same story. Everybody can't be lying. Right? And this is where Abel comes in. But before this time is over, we get the Canaanites, right? And the Canaanite mean the people of war. This is why the mark of the beast is war. It's blood. You know what I mean? We know who the true Canaanites are. You dig what I'm talking about? We can tell by your actions. This is why we judge the character. You can't tell me you a peach tree, right? And you growing oranges on it. You know what I mean? Like Jay said, you can't sell us BS. We know the prices. You know what I mean? So by the end of this 3,000 year period, it was besides all these being bred out and extinct, you got this, all these, and these, all on the earth, and these niggas, all on the earth before this 3,000 year period is up, between 71,000 and 68,000. You got all them people being created. Now that concludes the lessons on the Eoptian age, or the optimal time for man to exist on the planet. FYI, for any of those who may not have been able to make the connection, Owaspi makes a very startling revelation, and that is that the overall temperature of the earth correlates directly to the creation and extinction of man on the planet. With that, man, I'd like to thank y'all, man, for coming through, man. It's your boy Cosmonian. You did what I'm talking about. If you got something up out of it, man, hit me with some vortexes in the chat, man. Let's get this thing moving, man. You did what I'm talking about. Wasp dope. We just put it on the timeline. You dig what I'm talking about? Put everything on the timeline, make it make sense. Tie it in with that historical, empirical data, man. What is you gonna tell me when I'm showing it in the same time, and the book saying it's gonna be there and it's there? Come on, man. You dig what I'm talking about, man? Well, this your boy Cosmonian. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, man. Who in the building? Essene Nazarene, fight this. You dig what I'm talking about? That's right. Shut shit down, man. Honor Humility, Malachi Maccabee. Y'all go subscribe over there to my brother's thing at Honor Humility STL. Essene Nazarene, faith is who we got up in here. Belzel. Angelic up in this thing. VP Man up in this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? Mark of the Beast. Yep. Hawk the Navigator, name of a hip hop producer. I didn't know that. Shout out Equator 7. The Procession, that's why, damn, man, I couldn't remember that for nothing, man. Thank you, man. I couldn't look at the thing neither, man. Yeah, the goddamn Procession, man. I was Procession at the Equinox, man. I was stumped.
Shout out, and of course your name is Equator 7. You would know. You don't nobody though. Your name Equator 7. Tony Lonely would do the math. That's right. That's right, God. They ain't ready, man. Bless up. That's right. Bless up to the creative game. Bless up to creative, man. Hey, man, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We them boys, hold up. I gotta give a shout to my young prince, young Judah. Boy, y'all ever try to run up over on this porch, nigga? I got some puppies that's gonna shake your face off. You ain't even gonna never make it to the porch. You bet not never run up on the porch. That boy went over there and handled himself like a true son of the Most High. Humbled them. They had to respect it. You was keeping it real, funky first. You dig what I'm talking about? I respect that, man. Because Judah came a long way fast. Everybody did. That's crazy. Everybody been coming along fast. You dig what I'm talking about? Look how fast Malik caught on. But the what we finding out is, right, really, all the hubbub is bullshit. And you can go straight to it, straight to source. You don't need no middleman. You don't need nobody. You ain't gotta hit your knees. You ain't gotta holy. You ain't gotta do none of that. You ain't gotta give no church money. You ain't gotta go to no banquets. You ain't gotta kill no goats. You ain't gotta sacrifice nothing. You ain't got to do none of that. Will you try to eat some fruits and veggies, nigga? Some fruits and vegetables? Will you do something good for somebody else every now and then? Try to do 3 good things a day for somebody else without getting nothing back. Start opening the doors. Help old ladies across the street. Put her bags in the car for you. You know the thing's heavy. Your mama raised you with some home training. Well, mine did. Shout out Mama Alita. She raised a gangster. And Mama, don't worry. You raised a gangster. I'm a survivor. Shout out to Sister Hoover. I think I'm gonna have to get Sister Hoover on, man. We're gonna break down these Aboriginal roots, man. We're gonna get down up in here. Show and start showing what we already know. We already know. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, of course, man. We come over here, drop bombs every time, man. We show everything. We show everything. We put it on the timeline. We make it simple for you. We did all the heavy lifting. Just let me tell you about something you don't know nothing about. So you ain't got to be stuck in the Gregorian calendar. You ain't got to be bowed down, kowtowed to the Gregorian calendar. You're not stuck in a box. How your ancestors tell time before there was clocks. I'd just like to ask y'all the question. Anybody can answer. Is a sundial more scientific than a grandfather clock? If you think it is, if you think a sundial is more scientific than a grandfather clock, press 1. If you think a grandfather clock is more scientific than a sundial, press 2. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're going to put it all on the timeline. We ain't worried about no skin color. We showing you when man was made.
That's right. If the sundial is more scientific than the grandfather clock, press 1. If the grandfather clock is more scientific than the sundial, press 2. I see some things coming in, boy. Huh? Huh? My boy Bezel said he wasn't sure. We're gonna see if anybody else answer. Malachi Maccabee say 2. Malachi Maccabee say 2. Tabitha say 1. Yassine Nazarene Faith to say 1. Sister Huber say 1. Equator 7 say 1. Jehovah say 1. To use what's readily observable is more scientific than to try to make it make sense to yourself. I mean, to anybody else other than what's observable and what can be proved. Because then you'll have you a Babylonian calendar like the Hebrews do, where you got to add days, and every 19 years you adding all this just to try to get your Sabbaths on Saturdays. But it's okay. You did what I'm talking about. Mally be just talking shit, man. He already know, man. Hey, Mally, man. Hey, man. Look, I just want to read this and I'm gone, man. Jehovah said, open your eyes, oh man. There was a time of childhood, a time of propagation, a time of old age, and a time of death to all men. It is likewise with all corporeal worlds I have created. First, as vapor, the vortex carries it first, and as it condenses, its friction engenders heat. Guess what? Science also agrees that these gases condense. They don't know how, but they agree that as the gases condense, friction engenders heat. Science agreeing with Owaspy. How is Owaspy dropping this stuff in 1881? You're just figuring it out now. And it is molten, becoming as a globe of fire in heaven. Then it takes its place as a newborn world, and I set it in the orbit I prepare for it. Does science agree? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Does science agree with Owaspy that the world was a ball of fire? Hold on. Huh? Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't even see this. I got to show this. Hold on. Hold on. I got to show this. Remember I told you that the Simu brought oxygen and cleared the atmosphere. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this. This is the introduction of oxygen. Watch this. Does science agree with Owaspy? Watch this. Look, most scientists believe that the Earth began with an atmosphere much like that of the planet Venus. Its skies were filled with carbon dioxide. Is that how we get plants so big? More than 100,000 times the current level of atmospheric carbon. and the Earth's surface temperature would have exceeded 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Confessions of a former fireball. Look at this. This is from Yale University. Let's just go down. About 4.6 billion years ago. Owaspy say, well, over 5.5 billion years ago. The Earth was born from the sun's protoplanetary disk, the grand circuit, the grand vortex. Universe Today said the planet started off as a molten spheroid with sweltering temperatures. Earth cooled over time and a firm crust developed. The atmosphere eventually cooled and life became possible. How is Owaspy revealing this shit in 1881 and then nobody knows? Then it said it was going to be held back 159 years. The first motherfucker to get this is Selah Shalom. And look at what Owaspy say is the remnants of the Algonquins' work. Look at the sons of Hoanga, the sons of Iwata, have met the sons of Moshe. Y'all don't even know. Have met the sons of Capelia, have met the sons of Chinese here in the promised land, Gautama. The oldest ceremony in America known is practiced on by the Indians in Mount Shasta, called what? Anybody know? The ceremony of Gautama. Guess what it celebrates? Them coming to a new continent after they are sunk. Coincidence? I dare say not. All right. Look, just a little bit more on the sea moon age. Jehovah said, behold, I caused all living creatures, some of them, a couple of them, 3/4, all living creatures to gestate in darkness. Humans, plants, whatever. They only grow in the dark. From when you're in your mother's womb to when you're in your bed. You wake up in the morning, you got cramps in your legs because you didn't grow overnight. All creatures gestate in the dark. And this shall be testimony to the end of the world, that when I created life on the face of the earth, she traveled in my Simuan firmament. This is the triumphant entry of oxygen to the earth's surface. It is also the gestative age for the animal kingdom. Jehovah said, let there be a sign for man that comes after, so that he shall understand the work of my hand. And Jehovah commanded that after that time, all the living should gestate in darkness. Wow. And it was so. Look at that. Look what it say. The white sphere in the middle of the dark sea moon is the earth. Look. This is why everything gestates in the dark. I ain't never heard a spiritual book say nothing like that. Never. And show me when we said anything about anything evil, or man, we've been on science, cosmology, archaeoastrology, geology, creation. We just now touching back on Earth. We just left Simu. Pause.
Listen, how did old Waspy know in 1881 science not figuring this out to the 2000s? Y'all just think JBN just made it up and copied it? This nigga was not that smart. Nobody is Waspy smart. No, there's no way. Listen, ain't a human on this. Listen. You could take the top 4. Let's just make it 4. The top 4 scientists in every scientific field in the world. Think up some. Think them up. Oh, because if you don't think quantum physics is up in here and fractals and all that, you sadly mistaken. Waspy on something different. It hit different when you really serve the nigga who made everything. Yeah, do your homework on that. Yeah. Yeah, let me dunk it. Yeah, throw it up to the rim, Malachi Maccabee. I'm gonna dunk it. You see? The same principles apply to all the stars, suns, moons, planets, but differing in manifestation on account of size, motion, density, and relative place. Now, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it but I'm gonna give y'all a hint. Remember how Einstein, he came with the new theory of relativity, E equals mc squared? Now it's time for the brothers to change the game. Yeah. He changed the game with the theory of relativity. Daryl Cosmon debunked it. What are you talking about? Daryl Cosmon, I didn't even add nothing to that doc. I ain't say nothing to Daryl. He went crazy. He lost his damn mind and debunked the theory of relativity, bro. The game has changed. The gig is up. You dig what I'm talking about? Faith just ain't having nothing. Faith just ain't having nothing, man. Look, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all too long, man. I'm gonna go ahead and munch on something. I love y'all, man. Love and light, man. Your homeboy Cosmonian, man. Crazy energy weekend, man. I'm so proud of y'all. You don't even know, man. I'm so proud of y'all, man. All y'all, because y'all don't know this is a team thing, man. This is why this is what they don't get. This is communal. You know what I mean? It's a communal thing, man. Ain't no big U's, little me's over here, man. But anyways, man, you know I come to balance all balances and check all checks, because you know what happened next when you see that butterfly vortex, man. Just breathe in. Let that light in. Cosmon, man, and I'm out.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh that Japheth, that Chow Mein, that Papabul, that Tao Mein, since sunset in the Ark of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao Sang, so as above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospherian. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See, the pattern is ponic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the ether. And when the force gets the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe, mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is Eoptian, it's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita, rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint, shout out my big homie Sealer. Got more torque than a sports car, got more work than a door stop. And the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a ennui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm a Israelite, I'ma make Emet the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air.